Minister of State Defense briefs President Tinubu on security situation in Northwest.
Senate to investigate frequent power outages in the country.
Three states withdraw participation in suit filed by Kogi and 15 other states.
On Good Morning Nigeria today, our conversation will be Constitution Amendment, the proposed independent candidacy.
Post-independent candidates. I heard that you are gearing up to, go for private and proposed that independent candidacy when you leave NTA. Is it true?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Well, you can't really tell. I mean, the future is bright for everyone, and as long as women, get the opportunity and, of course, get some, lease of way, into elective positions.
So you can lead the way?
Yeah, no, there are women who are already leading the way. I don't have to lead the way. There are women. All we need to do is project more women out there. And, of course, media stations like ours, provide opportunity for women to shine. Anyway,
you look gorgeous this morning.
Thank you, Demola. Thank you.
All right.
I am not looking back. Someone said you're aging backwards.
Good. History is being made in Nigeria as the House of Representatives takes a daring step to allow independent candidates participate in Nigeria's elections.
By the way, thank you for the compliment. Well, you could say history is being made, Demola, because it's not the first time that the House of Representatives will be trying this. But this is the first time it's going the second reading. So you could say history, is being made. But let's wait until it gets to the State Houses of Assembly. But it's a very crucial legislation, like I said, which scaled second reading. I was introduced for consideration after the first success on the floor on Thursday, September the 26th, 2024.
It is a legacy bill from previous assemblies who did not give it serious attention.
Exactly.
The bill's progress is guided by the combined provisions of Order 12, Rule 17, and Order 1, Rule 1-2 of the House of Representatives Standing Orders. And
the proposed bill is known as a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and it seeks to allow candidates who are not sponsored by political parties to participate in the presidential, governorship, National Assembly, State Houses of Assembly, and, of course, local government council elections.
This bill is sponsored by the member representing Ekiti North 1, Ikole Oye Federal Constituency, Akin Rotimi Jr. He believes this bill will expand participation in the electoral process. So far, the bill has been recommended or recommitted to the House Committee on Constitution Review for further comprehensive consideration and legislative action.
Well, we could say that, ask what the implications of independent candidacy in our electoral process will be. Now, elsewhere, in other democracies, in Europe, for instance, 13 countries currently allow independent candidates to participate in the elections. And of course, if we recall, in the United States, some time back, George Washington, was the only president who ran for office twice as an independent candidate. But there have been several others. Yes, for instance, there was someone who ran for the mayor of London. That's in Britain. But in US, there have been quite, you know, a number.
Many others.
Yes.
All right, but this is entirely a new system in Nigeria and even in Africa. We've not had any in Africa.
No, we don't. We have in Kenya.
In Kenya, you sure?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, is this a path Nigeria should take at this time? A big question. And benefits in having independent candidates in Nigeria's elections. We have guests joining us shortly to speak on these issues. Welcome to the program. I am Ademola Adeoye.
And I'm Claire Adilabu Abdul Razak, and we thank you for joining us again for this very crucial conversation on whether or not our constitution will be altered or amended to allow for independent candidates to vie for elections. And it will be happening right here on the network service of the NTA. Chukwudi Okolugbaja will be joining us much later for newspaper review. But right now, Comfort Amodu will bring us some comforting news this morning. Comfort, good morning.
Good morning, Claire and Ademola. Let's bring you some of the trending news with Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Mohammed Matawali, briefing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the outcome of his 2 operational tours to Sokoto State. Dr. Matawali highlighted the significant successes recorded by the Nigerian military in combating insecurity in the region, praising the dedication and professionalism of the Nigerian military, especially the armed forces of Nigeria. The minister eulogized President Tinubu for his government's commitment to providing necessary resources to maintaining operational efficiency in countering security threats in the Northwest. He also reaffirmed the government's resolve to bolster NAP's capacity. As part of the strategic fight against insecurity in the region, Dr. Matawali's operational visit to Sokoto State is to rekindle the people's faith in the federal government's effort to restore peace and security in the Northwest region. And his presence, along with the Chief of Defense Staff and other military chiefs, led to the elimination of many bandit leaders, amongst whom is Halilu Buzu Sububu. The minister called on residents of Sokoto, Zamfara and Katsina and that of Kebbi states to remain vigilant and cooperate with security forces to ensure the success of ongoing operations. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was very pleased with his briefing and commended the minister and the troops in their renewed vigor to eradicate insecurity in the Northwest and the security and the country. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has officially briefed President Bola Tinubu on the fuel tanker disaster, which recently claimed more than 100 human lives in the state. The governor at the State House this Tuesday also appreciated the president for the federal government's response to support conveyed by a delegation to the states led by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume. After meeting with the President, Governor Namadi briefed State House correspondent on the situation.
We have about 181 people that died, and we have about 80 people in the hospital, and about 210 families are affected by this disaster. The Jigawa State government has taken the medical bill of all the affected people, and we have done a lot of intervention to the families to ensure that they continue their livelihood.
Our Senate is to carry out thorough investigation into the frequent incidents of power outages in parts of the country with a view to finding solutions to the challenges. This was when Senate Committee on Power engages the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency in continuation of its oversight to strengthen agencies in the power sector for efficient service delivery. The committee expressed concern over recent grid disturbances and says it will engage all relevant stakeholders to find out immediate and remote causes of the outages. And the Senate Committee on Power notes that federal government's huge investment in the sector, and there is need for the sector players to step up their game and deliver reliable electricity to Nigerians. Meanwhile, the Minister of Power, Adebola has set up a 6-man has set up a 6-man committee to look into the issue. 3 states have withdrawn their participation in a suit filed by Kogi and 15 other states seeking to have the Supreme Court of Nigeria outlaw operations of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The 3 states are Adamawa, Anambra, and Ebonyi. The matter was filed by 16 states as plaintiffs, contending EFCC's existence, positing that it is not in the 1999 Constitution as amended. Taking their reference from the Supreme Court's judgment in Joseph Wobike versus Federal Government of Nigeria, the plaintiff states argued that the EFCC Establishment Act enacted in 2004 was formulated from a United Nations Convention against illicit financing until domesticated in their states. They say they are not bound by its provisions. No economy can thrive if its most active and talented youth are sold to crime. Therefore, it is imperative that parents and their stakeholders take proactive steps aimed at renewing and redirecting the minds of youth towards productive and honest living. Nigerian's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this while declaring open a 2024 National Cyber Crime Summit organized by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Abuja. That's the news at this time. Good Morning Nigeria continues with Ademola and Claire right after this break. Stay tuned.